Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Welcome back to another video of eveonline. Today I'm running some L4 missions. And there's a particular reason why I'm actually running L4 missions. The reason is because my abyss location seems to be being compromised. So what do I mean by that? Ooh, I have not accepted this mission. Well, what do I mean by my abyss location is being compromised? Well, I mean that there was a save system where I used to run T5 abysses, and I have marked basically every single, or almost the big majority of the gankers who gank abyssal dead space runners. What I've noticed is that they've been roaming around the system I ran abyssal dead space sites in. This gives me a bit of worries, and has actually made me decide to quit T5 running altogether, because previously I have been ganked twice. Once was a dumb reason when I was in Jita. In Jita, obviously there's going to be a lot of people there, and there's going to be a lot of people scanning you and potentially ganking you. The second time I got ganked was actually when I was in a distant system far away from Jita. The thing is, I had seen previously an abyssal ganker roaming the system. Like he just happened to be roaming it. I was not actually running abyssal sites, but he was just in the system. And the thing is, I was just like, all right, he just happened to go past here. Oh, it must have been coincidence, right? It turns out to be wrong. Just a day or two later, I was ganked by the same guy and his friends. So obviously what he was doing was he was roaming looking for me, or he could just be that he's got a certain route which he scans people who do abyssal dead space sites. So I'm not taking any chances right now, at least for the time being. I'm likely going to stick from now on to T4s, because T4s give still pretty good ISK, but the thing is, T4 abyssal dead space sites can still be run in Jita, and even if you do get ganked, the ship I run them in is so cheap that it really is no big concern if I get ganked in. The mission I'm running here is Damsel in Distress. This is a mission that actually I've died once in my Rattlesnake. It involves you rescuing this damsel, or this woman who's been captured by these pirates over here. So she is in this pleasure garden over here, and we want to destroy this. But the thing is, we don't want to destroy it straight away unless you're in a very good sniper ship. I am not got if I had a micro jump drive, I could just jump off and snipe it, but I've not got that, and it will. The reason why I don't want to go for the pleasure hub straight away is because the more HP this garden loses, the more pirates will spawn, and actually you can experience a crazy amount of DPS here. Crazy to the extent which I lost my once 1.4 bill ISK Rattlesnake. It was a big ship. It had a Pith X type extra large shield boost. I'm just got a C type right now, because honestly it was just a dumb idea to face tank everything. I could perhaps MWD out. If I were to MWD out, I could snipe it, but you get a bit of bounties from these ships here, so I still think it's worthwhile to just kill them, or at least the big ships, the battleships, which I think I'll actually do. I just wanted to take out the annoying frigates. So we can just pulse the extra large shield booster, and we'll be able to tank the stuff here. This is very little DPS. Most of the DPS is coming from the cruisers and battleships anyway. There's gonna come this big battleship in the end called Shadow, and apparently he can drop I think it's Shadow at least. I keep mixing him up with another one, but Shadow is apparently this like mafia boss of this pirate operation over here, and he can actually drop an expensive implant. Actually, no, it's not Shadow, it's Zor. Yeah, Zor. Zor can drop something called Zor's hyperlink or spatial. Okay, wasps are taking damage. We want to recall these guys. Zor can drop an implant which I believe gives you bonuses to your speed, or it's your warp speed, one of those, and it's a very expensive one. There are two types, I believe, that can drop as well. One is the cheap one, which is worth hardly anything. The other one is worth, I believe it was a couple of 100 mil ISK, so it could be a very profitable mission if we are lucky. I'll move a bit more to this side, and I'll try shooting actually with the sentries, because I'll be able to... I'm taking a lot of drone aggro, and I can't be bothered to have to recall my drones over and over again, which is quite annoying. I have been running previous L4 missions, which were this one called Massive Attack, and it was a very smooth mission. It involves you just going through a few acceleration gates, killing pirates. As I said before, the thing I really like about missions compared to Abyssal Dead Space is you can just pause. You can just pause whenever you feel like it. It's no big deal. You say you got to do something or you got to go. Well, you can just warp off and that's it. In most cases, at least, unless you're warp scram. But killing frigates doesn't take a long time. Unfortunately, you can't do that in the Abyss. I wish there was some way to pause in the Abyss. It would have been nice if there was a way, but it perhaps would take away from the special, how the Abyss is kind of special in that way. These spider drones, you want to take them out because they will web me. And I noticed that when these spider drones, I want to stop shooting now. When these spider drones shoot me, I have a harder time warping out. And that's very, I think that's very strange, because as far as I know, you warp faster when you're webbed because your top speed is lower and it'll take less time for you to approach that max speed. But maybe there's a special kind of Webifier that makes so the acceleration is less or something. I'm not sure about that, but that'll be interesting at least if there is a special Webifier that makes it so that your acceleration is less, because I know that many jump freighter pilots or freighter pilots have it so that they have an alt that can web you, and they web you and they have multiple webs. They could maybe even have 2 or 3 webs, and this makes it so that your max speed is really low, so the freighter can approach that max speed very quickly and align out very quickly. It's a good tactic, and I'm wondering if it's a different type of web that this spider drone is giving me here, because these spider drones do not behave in the same way normal webs do, at least. Because the last time I got killed, I can bring up the kill mail here, interactions, character, let's see, combat log. Okay, let's see, rattle maybe. Show losses, no, it's not here. If we write the name, no, okay. It was a while ago, so maybe it's not here. Let's just see that we've got the aggro on the right thing. Okay, it's always good to have your stuff shooting, you know, you don't want to waste time that way. The longer you take in the mission, the less gets per hour you're earning, of course. Let's see. There's a, yeah, you can go and search with the view more. This is interesting. I had a lot of losses here with the worms and in the Abyss frigate sites when I was attempting to do them solo in an alpha clone. It's just a bit of fun. Let's see, I believe it was prior recently, actually. Not recently, but more recently than last year. This one here. This one here. I got annihilated. You can see here, mercenary overlords, they destroyed me. And I had this X. Okay, so I did not have the Pith X type. I had just a standard T2 one, because I'm pretty sure I would not have Abyss the faction one. I do not like to try my luck with these things in general. The mutaplasmids, I only roll the T2 ones, the T2 modules, or I roll the cheap faction ones. I find it interesting how some faction modules are absurdly priced, absurdly low priced. Some armor hardeners are really low in their price, and also there's a shield. The Dread Garistas shield boosters are actually really low. They're actually quite good. I used to run Abyss in a cheap Gila. They used a 10 million Dread Garistas large shield booster. It was good because it made the fit really cheap, but it was bad because the bad thing about those Dread Garistas shield boosters is that they use so much capacitor. They boost more, and they have similar fitting requirements to the standard T2 ones, but they have big power requirements. So this is why I expect it to be having a very low price. I'm using now the Pith, and the Pith types usually are really good. That's why I'm using it for this missioning. It's also very cheap, or relatively cheap. This Pith X type large Pith X large shield booster costs about 100 million or 80 million or something. It's a very cheap and nice module. Gives a nice burst tank for us. After we've killed the spider drone, we will just deploy our sentries and kill the rest of the garden over here, because there's not, I can't imagine there being much more bad guys being spawned. Okay, let's see now. Return the wasps, then we'll drop out the sentries. Let's see now. Okay. Minimatar, we're in Minimatar space. Mini, they're very mini. Very small matars. No, I'm just joking. Of course it's Minmatar, but I like to call it sometimes Minimatar. I don't like their background. I think it looks quite disgusting. Looks a bit like some mud puddle splashed in the air with. I prefer the Amar one. I like it. It looks like how do you say? Very pristine sand. That's the feeling I get, at least. Okay, so this guy, Zor. This is who I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the last wave. We can just shoot all these things. Yeah, the DPS is obviously not going to be that high now, but since we've taken out everything. Also, a reason you do not want to use drones, heavy drones here, is because the garden will explode. When it explodes, it will damage everything close to it, and I believe it is enough to one-shot a heavy drone. Because I do recall losing drones, and the only ships I have used doing this mission have been rattlesnakes and sometimes Macarials, and in all those cases I used heavy drones, so it had to have been a heavy drone that died, unfortunately a very tragic death by this explosion of the pleasure garden over here. Let's recall our drones. We've got everything. It's interesting how the damsel ejects or ends up in our cargo hold straight away without us having to go there. I used to think that you would have to go here and pick it up, but you don't actually. You can just straight away go back to your mission hub. So you start aligning out here. Because we've already destroyed the Webifier guys, this shouldn't take long to get out of here. So that was a mission well done, and I believe this is a very good mission to do in general because it gives good LPs, amount of LPs, high LP. I mean 5,000 LP, that's good, and then some nice ISK as well. So we got about like 2,500 ISK from this, and then we get the almost 6,000 LP. 6,000 LP, we can maybe make that to like 7 mil, maybe even 8 mil if we're lucky. So almost 10 mil just from that mission over there. I mean, not the best ISK per hour if we're going to compare to our Abyssal running, but it's very relaxing. Oh, we've got Typhoon over there. I think Typhoons look really cool. They're one of the few Minmatar ships I actually like the appearance of. Looks very bulky and nice. But the ISK per hour is not that great, but it is just such a relaxing activity, and I love flying the Rattlesnake because it's just such a good looking ship. Ships for me, their appearance matter a lot. I like flying something I like to look at. Many people go around flying in potato graphics, but I like to fly in the best graphics possible with anti-aliasing bumped up. Got all the shaders maxed out. That looks really good. Just look at this Rattlesnake and this skin as well. The etheric raider skin looks awesome. So that Typhoon seems to also have been doing missions as well, since he seems to be docking over here. Alright, let's dock up and talk to our mission agent, who's going to give us some chaos and some LP, which we could use. I actually saw that there's an implant right now, a mid-grade, some mid-grade crystal, or mid-grade, I had it copied here actually, mid-grade virtue. I was looking at it earlier. This is actually a good item to trade right now. You can get a lot of ISK for the amount of LP you use. So let's talk to our mission agent, which has a name that's really weird. Complete the mission. There we go, 2.2 million, and we've got a bit of LP. So slowly gaining our LP pool. I've recently cashed in, so I don't exactly have the most amount of LP, but it's a decent amount right now. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that video. That's me explaining a bit how I'm back to doing a bit more L4 missions because of the location of my T5 Abyssal Dead Space running being compromised. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.